All right. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Deal Desk Copy Friday. I'm going to be calling your leads today. We're going to get right into it. The very first property we have, let's see here. It looks like this one's on the market. Okay. And this one is in North Carolina. It's in fair condition. I'm texting calling let me see, the owner. Let me see what you have here. This charming brick ranch house features 3 spacious bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this property is listed. It's been listed for almost 2 months, has 110 saves. Okay, the condition of the property looks good. Kitchen's renovated. Okay. All right, so did you speak with the owner originally? Let me see if this number aligns with what's on here. 657. No, okay. So you spoke with the homeowner. So I'm going to call the homeowner because this is listed. It's brick. I mean, it looks okay. Doesn't seem like anything's wrong with it. All right, let's go ahead and give them a call. See what they say. His name is John. Okay, let me redial that number. He didn't pick up. So, when you're looking at Zillow for sale by owner, you want to look for ugly houses. You want to look for properties that looks like he hung up that time. That's okay. Whenever you guys are looking at Zillow for sale by owner, I would encourage you to look for houses that are not fully renovated because the chances of them, selling at a discount are very low. You want to look for ugly houses, properties that need a lot of work. And, when you come across bad looking houses or even properties that are okay, they're just going to be a lot more open to negotiate a lower price because it has to sell cash. So I am going to put the keywords that I like to use. I'm actually going to put this in the chat here. If you're using Zillow for sale by owner, it allows up to 250 characters. Okay. I'm going to put them there in the chat. You can copy and paste those into the keyword section, right? And whenever you do that, you're going to come across a lot of uglier houses, and that's what you want to look for, right? I'll show you a quick example before I move on to the next lead because I think this is important. You don't want to spend too much time looking at houses that are fully renovated. It's really not going to get you anywhere. Not to say it can't happen, but I don't know why they want to sell when they want to sell, but let me just show you real quick what I'm talking about here. All right, so I went here. You go to for sale. You can go to houses. It doesn't matter. Any of this is selected because what I want to do, you see where it says keywords? I'm going to copy and paste those 250 keywords, and then I'm going to click apply. All right. Now I'm looking at houses that need work, right? So this house, it doesn't look renovated. Yeah, this is perfect. This is the kind of stuff you want to look for. All right. So look out for those keywords in the chat. Look for houses that need work. Those are the people that you want to negotiate with. If they're for sale by owner, even better. If they're listed with an agent, you have to talk directly with the agent, make them an offer. And it's all numbers game, right? So I can go back to, let's see how many were posted today in Florida. I'll go to apply. I'll zoom out. Okay. Looks like there were 2 posted in Florida today. If I go back 7 days, all right, now there's 13. But notice all these properties, these need work. These are not fully renovated. The chances of you getting a deal on Zillow going after properties that need work versus fully renovated are actually much higher. So that's what I would encourage you to do. I know some of you guys are doing Zillow and that thing, and that's great, but just stay a little bit more focused on the right properties to target, so you're not, you're not wasting your time. I want you guys to get deals, but you got to go after opportunity. All right, the next one we have here is on Herrera Street. This one, it says it's pending, but it says 91 days on Zillow with 0 saves. We're going to call them anyway. If a property is ever pending, doesn't mean it's closed. Some people won't tell you how much it's under contract for. What you want to get, if you can, get the price it's under contract for. Okay? But most importantly, find out the day it's expected to close, and you're going to call the day before or day of. And if they don't close, you're next in line. Okay? Doesn't have too many photos. Let me see here. So this is the property. This is the first picture of a random shed. All right. Paint's chipping. New home next door. Okay, so you have new construction. So it looks like this is outdated. Okay. So that's good. The property needs work. All right. The weird thing is it says that it's pending. There's 0 saves, and it's been on here for 90 days, over 90 days. Okay. This is the property. Okay, you have, where's that new house? Hold on. Whoa, what is this? You got a post office right across the street. Any kind of commercial property surrounding the subject property, in my experience, some investors don't like that. It's a little bit less desirable. Okay. I wonder if they own this lot next to it. This is a nice house. Okay. Looks like the house it needs some work. All right, cool. So let's give them a call. This one is also for sale by owner on Zillow, but it's just weird. It says pending with 0 saves. That's very strange. Let me look at the, take a look at the listing history. Okay, so it sold for 182 back in October 2024, not too long ago. Then they relisted for 262, and then it says pending sale. All right, they listed for 262, and then it went pending a month later. All right, let's find out what's going on with this. Maybe they flipped it. I don't know, but there are photos on there. Let's see if they pick up the phone. Start running comps on this.
Dios bendiga. Buenos días, buenas tardes.
Hola, buenos días. Yo vi tu listing en Zillow sobre la casa en Herrera.
No, estoy trabajando ahora. Después hablamos.
¿A qué hora?
Perdón. Más tarde, pero como quiera, yo quité el listing ya. No lo vamos a vender la casa.
Ok, gracias. Tengo un buen día.
No hay problema.
Bye. Bye. He's working, call him later, but he says, nonetheless, I'm not selling the house, decided to keep it. Maybe that's why it's pending. I don't know. You should still call him back later. I mean, who knows? Anytime a property's for sale and then something happens between the time frame they say yes or call me back, and then they say I'm no longer interested, usually there's a second person involved. It wouldn't hurt to call back because he answered the phone. He said, I'm working, call me later. But he says, I actually changed my mind. You should still call him back. It was originally for sale. It's just strange that they bought this for 182 a few months ago, and then they have it listed for sale for 262. And it was only on the market for actually they listed for sale on January 31st of this year. And then about a week later, they put it pending. So maybe they did change their mind, but you want to find out why they were looking to sell in the first place. All right. All right, cool. So what's the next one we have here? Let's see. Las Vegas. Great market Las Vegas is. Okay, so this one needs a complete rehab. All right. Yeah, properties in Las Vegas sell quick. Oh, this one needs a lot of work. Says it's on the MLS. Okay. Doesn't have, I mean, it has like really small photos. Let me see. Hard to see the photos. All right, so this is the property. Okay. It's listed for sale for $475. Man, this thing needs everything. What happened here? Been on here for about 2 months, 109 saves, investor special. This property's a fixer-upper with tons of potential, ideal for buyers looking for their next renovation project. All right. And it's listed for $475. It's been listed for about 2 months. Remember, the time frame of properties listed will also tell you like if the price is attractive, which probably not. I mean, it does have a pool. Very strange. Yeah, this thing needs everything. Let's go ahead and call the agent on this. Jay. All right. Let's run some comments. They are.
Hello, this is Jay.
Hey Jay, my name's Steven. I saw your listing on Zillow about the property on Westwind Road. Are you still accepting offers for this?
Yes, I am.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think my partner.
I noticed the numbers from Florida, by the way. So we just kind of have a no wholesaler clause in there. Actually, I don't care if you wholesale it, but the EMD is to be put in right away and to be released immediately. So
No problem.
if if anybody's willing to do that, we'll accept their offer. But if not, we're just considering them a wholesaler who just watched a YouTube class. So
You get a lot of those calls?
dude, probably 30 of my offers are assignable wholesalers from some fucking state who knows.
Yeah. Well, we flip, rent, and wholesale, but we put up EMD and we actually have the ability to close on it. So I don't want to waste your time with it. So there's no, you want the buyers to take a look at it before they sign an agreement. You want the EMD due upon signature. Is that what you said?
Well, you can look at it before or not. As
Okay.
long as that EMD is released immediately, I don't care what you do.
Got it. Okay. And then, I mean,
I don't care about anything that goes on. You can assign it or anything. As long as that EMD is released, you could do anything in the world. But I want the
Right.
EMD released up front.
Okay, great. Is the homeowner are they flexible on this price? It seems a little high.
Yeah, we can go to about, if there's no agent fees, we can go to about 409 would be the absolute lowest.
Oh, okay, 409. Got it. What do you think? Are you an investor as well, or do you work with a lot of investors?
Yes, I do.
Okay, perfect. What do you think we could, if we flip this? What do you think the after repair value would be on this? I'm just looking at some comps here.
ARV maybe like a 650, like.
What's that?
About 700.
700,000. Okay. Do you have an address you could shoot me over? I could take a look at. Just trying to do my homework on it real quick.
I could, but it'll take me a minute.
Okay, no problem. You just want to text me then? I'll have my partner reach out.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. I'll speak with them and we'll get back to you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. So this is something that happens a lot is they get bombarded with all these calls. And listen, there's nothing wrong with wholesaling. The problem is that a lot of newer wholesalers that only wholesale, they make these offers, they try to assign it, and then they can't assign it, so they get stuck. All right. So he has this listed for 475. He just said that his lowest number would be 409,000. I'm looking at comps here. Okay. I'm looking at comps. Now, this property is 2,087 square feet. Let me see here. I mean, this thing needs everything, but he wants the EMD due once you sign. Now, if I plan on flipping this house, it might be worth taking that risk. Okay. And it doesn't matter. He doesn't care if you wholesale or not. What he cares about is that EMD is paid. This has been on MLS for a couple days. It says it failed, but then it says it's been on Zillow. Okay. He says the lowest you'll take is 409. All right. It's a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 2,087 square feet, built in 1964. I did see a comp over here. Let me see this real quick. I just want to see. I think they're asking I think 409 is not unreasonable because I do see flips, but man, I don't know about 700,000. I think the best comp I see here is a few blocks south. The investor bought this for 430. They flipped it for 600,000 in 2 months. So it sold quick. And this was built in 1979. So this is actually a good comp right here. Okay. Ours, ours looks similar. There's a few differences, but this is fully renovated. And this sold in 2 months. They did a great job on this. Investor bought this for 430. Okay. Something you could do is double close on this. I think 409, I think it makes sense. I mean, this one is like the best comp, the closest comp. There are some other ones, but there are, they're like 1,500 square feet. It's much smaller. Okay. Yeah, I think this could work at 409. I don't see why it wouldn't. Okay. But he's not, obviously he can present the offers, all that stuff. He wants the EMD due up front. And it's got to be a clear home run. I only see one comp on this, by the way. This is the only closest comp. All the other ones, 260. I see one at 315. Okay, I see one at 335. They're at 409. Okay. So this is what I do. When I find one comp that's an outlier, right? If I see one comp that's an outlier and I see everything else very different, I would actually call this investor and see if they're actually still active. Or is this like a one and done? Or do they do multiple projects a month? Because if they don't, then you're putting all your eggs in one basket. You get this, and this is where agents have issues with just wholesaling, is because let's say I'm new and I'm like, oh, this comp looks great. I'm gonna get this under contract. I'm gonna sell it to this guy, and then I call this investor. He's like, yeah, I'm not. That was a one and done. I only do like one a quarter, one a year. Well, there goes your buyers. All the other buyers are buying much less. I don't see a $700,000 comp. Actually, hold on, let me see. I see 570, and ours has a pool. And is this one renovated? This one, yes. Actually, no, it's not. No. Yeah, I think the ARV is I think it'd be 600,000. I don't see 700,000 out of this. There is one that sold for 700,000, but that property is built in 2002, and it's brick, and it looks completely different. All right, this is the one that sold for north of 700,000, but I mean, this is a completely different house. I don't want to look at that and then ours. Just it doesn't make any sense. So, whenever you're uncertain about something, I ask the agent to educate me. I say, hey, maybe there's something I'm missing here. You said 700,000. Can you shoot me a comp for 700,000? Because I could be wrong. I could be missing something. But based on the data that I see, 700,000 doesn't. No, there's no 700,000. I think you get 600,000. This property needs absolutely everything. So I don't even know if 409 might work. That other one that sold for 435, that one was actually in a little bit better shape, but Over 2,400 square feet. Yeah. But it doesn't hurt. But that's why it's been sitting here for 2 months. All right. And he's getting a lot of offers, but they're not the buyer willing to put the MD. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one is in Jersey City. Let's see. Jersey City. Jersey City. So let me see. Oh, wait. Jersey City. This doesn't have any. Oh, this is fully renovated. Is this the right address? Jersey Avenue. Yeah. All right. They're asking 2.5. He buys properties and sells them. So I'm gonna save you time and not even call this one. I don't think you guys should go after these properties. I know some of you are new. I would advise you not to go after these kinds of properties. Okay, this is fully renovated. Let's say I want to flip this. What am I going to do to it? You know, this thing's fully renovated. There's no value I can add to this. He's asking 2.5. Subject property, no expenses. He buys properties and sells them. So he's an investor. So this isn't really a deal for the property, but if I were you, I would add him to your cash buyers list. If that's what he does for a living, he needs to be on your cash buyers list. You shouldn't be trying to negotiate a fully renovated property, especially with a real estate investor. Okay? So not going to waste his time or your time with that one. I'm going to skip it. So, but add him as a cash buyer. Whoever submitted that lead on Jersey Avenue in Jersey City, add that person as a cash buyer. All right, let's go back to Tampa, Florida. We have one on 44th Street. Fair condition. Okay. Let's pull this up here. I feel like we called this one a few times. I don't know. I don't remember if they picked up or not. Let's see. Yeah, this was like the unfinished rehab or something. It's wood frame. When you're looking at properties in Florida, you have to take into consideration if it's wood frame or block because there are termites. Yeah, this is the one next to the cemetery. I think the last time they didn't pick up the phone. And the house looks fine, just fair condition. All right, possible updating kitchen, bathrooms, or presenting to a buyer as a rental. Currently, the property is clean but not very attractive because it's old-fashioned. Asking price $195 on Zillow. Okay, so it is for sale. It's been on here for about a month. Investor opportunity, cash only, presenting a promised investment property close to Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, Zoo Tampa, Lorry Park, Tampa Riverwalk. Where is this thing? You always want to pay attention to the location, especially in these diverse markets like Tampa. Yeah, it's pretty close to Busch Gardens. That's good. So Busch Gardens, if you're not familiar with Tampa, Busch Gardens is a theme park in Tampa. And they actually just announced that they're going to invest $40 million into the park because it, not that it's outdated, but it could definitely use a facelift. But that's good. That's going to attract tourism, and tourism means short-term rentals and more jobs and more growth and all that stuff. But let's call this lead. This is listed with an agent. Remember, agents are not the decision makers. They're there to represent the seller and collect offers, but they're not going to say yes or no. Most of the time they'll say no. Sometimes the seller will say, I don't want to go a penny below this number. And then they'll tell you, hold on, is this no, that's not a seller. It's spam. All right, let's call this agent. Going after properties on the MLS, it's a lot more offers. It's a lot more competitive, takes a lot more time. I personally don't make it my main focus to go after listed properties. I know some people do, and that's great. but you got to make a lot of offers. If you're not able to make 5 offers a day on off-market properties, you're going to have to make 10 plus offers a day on properties that are listed. All right, let's call them here and see what they say. Let's run these comps again.
Hello, you've reached Zillow Incorporated, our phone line dedicated to support and requests related to Zillow Incorporated. For needs and requests related to Zillow.com, Trulia.com, or a feature of our...
A new feature. There's a secondary number. Let me try calling this number. All right. Ivan. Let's see if we can get a hold of Ivan.
This is Ivan Santa with Houseway Solutions. I can answer your call right now, but if you leave a message...
Let's call Ivan one more time, see if he picks up.
This is Ivan Santa with Houseway Solutions. I can answer your call right now, but if you leave a message, I will...
This property, I'm just running some quick comps on this because the location is not too bad. It's not too far from Busch Gardens. There are tons of flips in this area. It could be used as a rental because it's in decent shape. But the house, 1952, it's wood frame. Let me see it real quick. Remember, landlords always pay more than rehabbers because it's 2 different exit strategies, right? Landlords are there for tomorrow money. Flippers are there for today money. Different kinds of buyers that look at properties. There are a lot of landlords here. There are a lot of flips too. I don't think he's asking a bad price. He's asking $195. Oh, this one, you can't even look at this. It's 2018. Always pay attention to the year built. Some of these areas, they'll have like a new construction house a few streets over, and it'll actually pull that estimated value and it'll affect yours. So it's always important to take a look at the year built. Let me see. We probably have to be at 150. Yeah, we have to be around 150. Even for a buy and hold. I see a landlord bought one for 165, pretty close. And this one is actually older than ours. Yeah, 150. They're at 195. I mean, we don't know why, how motivated the seller is, but 150 for that one. All right, what is the next one we have here? Let's see. So we called that one in Tampa on 44th Street. This one is in Cocoa, Florida. Cocoa, Florida, in Bellevue Road. This one looks like it needs a lot of work too. That's good. All right. So it's been on here for 65 days and only 6 saves. Why is that important? It means nobody's interested at that price. Okay, and this thing looks like an eyesore, which is good for us. That's the kind of properties you want to go. It looks like, almost feels like it's like, is it me or does it look like it's kind of like tilting, to the right or something? Like if I were to drive by, it looks like it's almost like leaning. So that means foundation issues. And I don't know. I mean, this thing looks beat up. All right. So it's on Zillow for 65 days. There's only 6 saves. This house built in 1940, remodeled 1987. This property is ideal for general contractor, blah, blah, blah. All right. Well, let's give them a call. The current owners purchased it with the intention of renovating and rebuilding, but have found the project to be more extensive that they can manage at this time. Okay. Let me pull this up on PropStream, and I'm curious to see what they bought it for. whenever you're speaking with somebody, you can always tell if they're a little bit more flexible in price, if they have more equity in it. The less equity they have, the less flexible they're going to be. It looks like these people bought this last September for $65,000. Estimated value is 162, and they're asking 150. But this house needs everything. All right, let's give them a call. It looks like they listed this with an agent, so we don't know what they're going to say. But it's in our favor because it's just been sitting on the market and it looks like there's no activity. It's a 1-1.
Hello, this is Luis Santos with
Hello.
Properties Commercial Group.
Man. Let me call one more time. Very quiet voicemail.
Hello, this is Luis Santos with Pioneer Properties Commercial Group. I'm sorry you cannot do the phone right now. Well, your call is very important to me.
Okay. Well, it's a 1-1, which makes things worse. It's a 1,000 square feet, 1940. So they're probably going to have a hard time selling this. All right. I want to take a quick look at some comps and see. I'm just curious. What are other properties selling for? 1-1s are, even if the square footage were the same, a 3-2 and a 1-1's two different price points. There's like no 1-1s in there. I see 3-2. I see a 2-1. A 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Looks like investors are buying those for around 130 is what I'm seeing here. There's a 2-1. There's a 3-1. I think we got to be at 100, 120 for this one. And they're asking 150. And, every month that goes by, there's holding costs and stuff like that. It's going to cost them to even hold the property. So keep checking in with those people every month because they will only get more motivated. All right. We got a couple in Memphis. All right. Memphis. All right, cool. So Memphis is one of those markets, depending what pocket it's in, low ARVs. So, the deals there are going to be much smaller. There's not going to be much spread. All right. So we have a couple Memphis. This one looks like it's in great shape. I mean, at least the outside looks good. So this is a property. It looks okay. All right. A nice shed back there. Okay. Oh, this needs some work. It's not horrible, but definitely needs a... Oh, yeah, this is rough. Okay, so what's the story with this one here? Needs some work. Floors only has 1 unit. Wall needs work. Sheetrock. They're asking 65. Reason for selling office did not know. This is listed. How does the agent not know why the person doesn't want to sell? They're asking 65. Let's see what the estimated value is. I notice a lot of properties in Memphis, they just been, some have been sitting on the market for a while because sometimes the amount of repairs to fix it are pretty close to what the value might be. And that makes it difficult for an investor. For a rehabber. Let me take a look at PropStream. Estimated value says 96. Yeah, they're asking 65 for this. It's a bad area when they got a cage around the AC. Okay. Well, the outside looks better than the inside. This bathroom, yes, thing needs everything. All right, let's give the agent a call. It's only been on here for 2 days. All right. Hold on a second. All right. So maybe a landlord might buy this. Okay. Right. I'm going to put my phone do not disturb here. All right, cool. Let's take a look at let's call the agent, and then I'll start running comps. Where's the phone number? Here it is. All right. Teresa with Two Rivers Realty. And then I'm going to start running comps on this. Hello?
Hey, you've reached Sherry with Two Rivers. Please leave a message after the beep or
I like that voicemail a lot better than the last one. More energy. More energy. She sounds like she'd be excited to speak on the phone. Let's call her back. She might pick up. And then let's look at some comps. That's what you're buying around 43 average price. Yep, I see 57. I'm looking at some.
Hey, you've reached Sherry with Two Rivers. Please.
I'm looking at some cash comps on this. So this is listed for 65. Now, one thing that I've noticed, a lot of people make this mistake. So make sure you pay attention to this, because this is going to go for you if you're going after Zillow for sale by owner. If this property, it's listed for 65, right? Let's say everything checks off, the comps are great. Hypothetically, let's say, hey, we can do the 65. All right. This is listed not only on Zillow, but on the MLS. If you can do that price, keep in mind, you should not lock up a property for what it's being marketed for on the MLS and or Zillow. Let's say you lock it up at 65. It's a good deal. You remarket it to your investors for 75. They look it up. They do their due diligence. They see it's marketed for 65. Why would they use you when they can go directly to the source and they'll wait for your inspection period 10 or whatever? So anytime you're going after these properties that are listed, whether it's for sale by owner on Zillow or on the MLS, you always have to get them drastically lower, okay, than what it's listed for. And the hard thing is, for these markets that have low price points, there's only so much less you can go. Now, my rule of thumb, let's say this is marketed for 65 and it makes sense. I want to remarket it for at least $20,000 less. Okay. So we would be at $45,000. That's where we would have to remarket it. That means if I want to make $10,000, I'd at least have to get it under contract for $35,000. All right. I've done deals on the MLS, but I will never lock it up at a price that it's being marketed for, because then why would they use you? What is the point of what benefit do you have to them if you're selling it for higher than what it's listed for? So just keep that in mind when you're calling these for this specific property. Okay. According to the comps, there are actually a lot of flips, but let me see. How many square feet is this? Oh, this is 793 square feet. Yeah, we'd have to be at like 25 for this. I see one right on the other side of the street, sold for 35. Here's one sold for 25. Yeah, 15 to 25 is probably where I would be at. And then you'd have to, remarket it for 35 or maybe 45. I mean, the thing's not like a teardown, but it needs a lot of work. It's in a rough area. But just keep that in mind. There are deals on Zillow and all that stuff. And not just Zillow. This goes for any for sale by owner marketplace that you go after. Or if you're going for properties that are listed on the MLS, don't lock it up for the price it's listed at. Make sure you negotiate a better deal. All right. Let's see. The next one is also Memphis. This is Trigg Avenue. All right. Let's see what's up with this one. Trigg Avenue. Is this a duplex? This one needs some work. The front door is boarded up. That's good. Okay. Let's see here. And, I always take a look at, one of the first things I look at, if it's a FSBO, is the days on market right? How many days has it been listed? They don't even have pictures of the inside, so that's when you know. That's when you know it needs a lot of work. How many days has it been listed on Zillow? And how many saves does it have? So this one's been on here for 30 days. There's 40 saves, which is good. All it says is investment opportunity property being sold as is. Add this house to your portfolio today. All right. New front door, only 2 pictures. Agent says does not need a lot of work, but some. She will be there on Tuesday to take more pictures of the inside of the home. Comps 54.9 and rental 66. Okay. No pics on the comps. Have one offer, but have not accepted it. Okay. This is great notes here. They have one offer, but not accepted. I told my associate, my caller, to discuss more. Also, since these are my first calls, if when we can get them, can we JV on these so I can learn? Absolutely. All right. Well, they have an offer. I'm curious to see what that offer was because they have this listed for $35,000. So that means kind of exactly what I said before. You would have to market this $20,000 less. Okay. The ARV, I'd have to see, but we'd have to market this like 15 and 20,000. All right, let me give him a call and find out a little bit more information because there's not much information of the inside, and obviously that's important. And if she can get more photos, even better. Let's give him a call.
Thank you for calling eXp Realty. Press 1 to reach the agent direct.
I pressed 1. Hello?
Press 1 to reach the dial by name directory. Press 2 if you know your party's extension. Press 9 to return to the main menu. Please say the full name of the agent you are trying to reach.
Zara Sultan.
Did you say Zara Sultan?
Yes.
Please wait while we connect your call.
Hello?
Hey Zara, I saw your listing on Zillow, the one on Trigg Avenue. Are you still accepting offers for this one?
Oh, it's under contract.
What's that?
It's under contract.
Oh, it's under contract.
Somebody already give us offer.
Okay, great. When is it expected to close?
1 month. If you give me a call, like in maybe in 2 weeks, then I'll know if it's gonna close.
Okay, I'll let my partner know. Just out of curiosity, did you get full asking price on this? 35?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Okay, I'll check in and I'll have my partner and I check in 2 weeks then. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Bye. All right, so that's under contract. She did say she get full asking, which is kind of surprising. Maybe it's in good shape. Maybe it's in better shape than the inside. I mean, the outside, it's boarded up, but it's a solid brick house. I'm looking at comps here. How many square feet is this one? Let me just confirm that. That's always important. So it doesn't actually say the square footage. It doesn't have square footage on here. Let me pull it up on PropStream. Something pulls up on here. Okay, PropStream says it's 1,400 square feet. Perfect. But the cash comps, man, they're like at 26. A cash comp for 10,000. A cash comp for 29, 23. I don't know. It might be a wholesaler. I don't know. I don't like something you shouldn't do either is never lock up a property higher than you should just to get it and then try to renegotiate it when it's closer to closing. Not saying that's what this person did, but 35 just seems too high. I think we have to be 15 and 20 for this. Okay. Because it's going to be more of a headache if you lock up properties. What's most important is you give an offer that makes sense. And something that's going to separate you from the competition is giving a cash offer. If they don't like the cash offer, give a creative finance offer. If they don't like the creative finance offer, then offer them novation. All right. Partner up with them on listing the property if it's in good shape and if it makes sense. But this one specifically, yeah, this needs some work. All right. Any questions you guys have, drop them in the chat. I'm going to go to the next one we have here. We have one in, what is this? Houston? Let's see. Hold on a second. Hey, what is this? Multifamily. Scott Street. Okay. So this is a multifamily. Great. Multifamily, typically they're not like here's a quick cash offer. You do have to collect more information about the property. Get the, the unit mix per unit, the occupancy, the rent rolls. Let me pull this up here. So this is the property. Looks good. So what's the story with this one? All right. Let me scroll down here a second. All right. Fair condition, 10 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. All right. Tenants in place, 2 tenants on the property. Condition needs minor repairs. 1 property requires siding and window work. Listed status not listed for sale. Owner willing to sell if offered the right price. Ownership details, owned since 1998. Free and clear, that's great. Reason for selling, no longer needed. Property was a former home and now vacant. All right. Asking price, $700,000, but negotiable. Market value link, not listed, but market comparisons available through Zillow. All right, let's give them a call. $700,000. But is it? I don't get it. Is it? It says it's vacant. You put here it's vacant. Reason for selling, vacant, but it says 2 tenants in the property. All right, we need more information on this. So what I'm gonna do, let me pull up this phone number. Mr. Freeman. All right, let's give him a call. I'm going to pull this up, starting some comps on it. It looks like it doesn't even ring. Let's try calling it again. Just doesn't even ring. Okay. Well, it says it's a duplex. Estimated value is $560,000. Remember, Texas is non-disclosure state, so you're going to need to pull MLS data, which PropStream has. I don't see many duplexes. Actually, I don't see anything. It's in a good area. Right there by the stadium. Right next to Texas Southern University. Yeah, you would need more information on this to really come up with a good offer, but they didn't put too much stuff in there, not answering. All right, next one we have is in San Antonio, Texas. It's another great market. San Antonio, Texas. Let's pull this up here. Brazos Wood, San Antonio, Texas. All right, so it looks like this one is listed. Okay. Looks like it's I think we tried calling this one last time. Remember, if I call these and they don't pick up, you're welcome to resubmit them. All right, if you need help with them. Oh, this one says under contract. Wow, 11 days, 67 saves. That has a lot of interest. Yeah, this one just needs a little updating, but they're asking 190. Yeah, 67 saves in 11 days is great. It's under contract. You want to call the agent anyway and find out when is it expected to close. Always get that. A property is not considered sold unless the funds have been wired and they've been, they went to the closing table and they got paid. But a lot of people say, oh, the house sold. If the owner says it's sold, oh, you got, closing funded? No, but it's under contract. Okay, great. When are they expected to close? In about a month. Awesome. And just out of curiosity, what is it under contract for? Always try to get that. If they don't want to give it to you, don't push. But, if they do give you the price it's under contract for and it does not close, well, now you know that that's not a good price. And that's what you're going to use to negotiate a lower price. Right? So this is for sale at 190. Let's say it goes under contract and it doesn't close. Okay, great. Well, it didn't close at 190. So I have to be closer to, 100,000. You have to look at the comps and stuff. But let's give this person a call and just find out when is it expected to close. A lot of agents don't pick up the phone. Get sick. I rarely get sick. It's ringing? No. Let's press dial here. What's their name? Marcos.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message.
Yeah, agent pick up the phone today. Let's try one more time. Hello. Yep. What happened there, but
your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
all right, we're gonna go to the next one in Maryland. Maryland. Okay. Awesome. So this is in Glen Burnie, Maryland. This is off market. Okay, I like it so far. It does have photos. If a property is off market and has photos on Zillow, that means it's usually a failed listing, or they're either older photos from the previous listing when the person bought it. So you always want to take a look at that. So what's the story with this one? So 7th Avenue, Maryland. He's done some updating over the past 4 years, but house still needs updating. Okay, there's no central air heating. He's asking 430. He said he's firm on that number. The house doesn't look bad. It's outdated, but it's in good shape. Seller wants to sell because he needs more space. His daughter moved in with her kids 11 years ago and was only supposed to be there for 6 months. They're supposed to be there for 6 months, and they ended up being there for 11 years. Or 11 years ago. Okay. He needs more space. Okay. Okay, let's take a look. Let's give him a call. I'm not going to run any comps unless they answer the phone. I only run comps when it's ringing. Let's go ahead and give him a call, and then I'll start running some comps on this. Firm. Let's see. He's firm at 4:30. I'm going to keep. He answered and he hung up. Unless that was a very short voicemail. Let me try calling one more time. Sometimes people see different area code and they might think it's like a sales call or I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Warren.
Yeah.
Hey, my name's Steven. I think you spoke with my partner, Robin, about your property on 4th Avenue. Are you still looking to sell it?
No.
Oh, you changed your mind?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't change your mind. I don't think he wants to talk right now. You want to sell? No. Oh, you changed your mind? No. Oh, you didn't change your mind. Hang up. Follow up with him. So why is this let me see why this shows MLS photos. I want to see how old these photos are. Sometimes it'll say like a little year here or something. But on PropStream, okay, so this says active since 2023. I don't know if that's true or not. Let's go to listing details. Listing removed. Oh, okay, it got removed. Okay, so these photos are 2 years old. I always ask sellers, hey, I see some photos here on Zillow. Are these recent or, are they older? All right, well, he's not interested in selling. So you should still follow up with him because anytime somebody originally is interested in selling, it doesn't matter why they change their mind. Was it a price thing? Was it a family member said they want to keep it? Like, I don't care what the reason is. If they speak with you one time and they say, I want to sell, they are on follow-up until they want to sell. If they don't want to sell, they need space. I respect that and I give them space, but I'll always follow up. And then I'll round robin it. We'll call from different numbers, different people and stuff like that. Because maybe the way I talk to somebody, it may be completely different conversation than the way you talk to somebody and vice versa. All right. So sometimes the seller may talk to an acquisitions agent. It sounds great. And then they go ghost. And then somebody else has to call. And it might be, you just got to mix it up. Follow up is the name of the game. Okay. What dialer am I using? I'm actually using Go High Level. So I'm sharing my audio from the Go High Level CRM. What do you think the ARV is for Glen Burnie? Let's take a look at it real quick because this was your lead. Let's take a look and see what the ARV is real quick. So we know he's 430 firm. I'm going to assume that the property still looks like this. All right. So we're just going to assume that it's in, good shape, fair shape. Let me take a look. All right. So it is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1740 square feet, built in 1946. Estimated value is 406. Estimated value, I take that, with face value because it's kind of like a Zestimate. There is the highest selling property in the whole area, sold for $451, and it's only 2 doors down. Okay, so this sold for $451. It's actually basically identical. Ours is a little bit bigger, has an extra bedroom, but same year built. And let me see if this was an investor or not. So I already know that he's asking too high. This is the highest selling property at $451. I don't know if this was an investor or not. Okay. It doesn't look like it. So let me use my other tool, Investor Base, here and see if any investors are buying in this area as well. Because cash comps don't always mean investors. It could be, just individuals that, closing a property and they just want to hold on to it. So, okay, so I do see some landlords here. I see 350. I see 296. I see 310. High sold property the investor bought was for 350. So we're a little bit far apart. All right. I would say this, it could be a flip, it could be a rental. But the closest comparable that I see that actually sold the highest is right on the other side of the street here. And it sold for $350. and it Precision Contractors LLC, and it says the estimated value is 480, but they paid 350, and it's a buy and hold, not a flip. Okay, so I think your MAO is 340, and the ARV I can only go based off of the highest sold comparable property, and it shows 451. Let me look at one more thing, because there are flips in the area too, but I mean, there's some for around 200,000. Yeah, this one sold 363, 375, and this is like the retail value once they put on the market. But the neighbor's house sold for 450, so I'm gonna say that's what the ARV is. The gentleman wants 430. So, you know, if you find yourself speaking with somebody and they're firm on a specific price, but it's just too close to the ARV, I would reemphasize the fact is like, hey, I'm an investor. I may not always be the best fit. A cash offer, I'm not going to be anywhere near what you're asking, so I don't even want to waste your time with that. However, if I can pay you your full price, would you be open to taking some payments on it? A little bit now, a little bit later? No, I want to cash out. No problem. Yeah, I mean, the only other option is I can maybe help you list it on the market, but you're asking pretty close to full market value. And then I want to tell him some comparable properties, because he may not even be motivated. And I know he wants more space, but just because somebody gives you a reason to sell doesn't mean that time frame is going to be any shorter. He may be okay and just chilling, you know. So we don't know. We don't know. I called 5 agents this morning. Not even one picked up. Yeah, I don't know what is. I'm using Go High Level off market. Was that a building for 4 units or 6? I think that other one I was looking at was 8 units. Oh, he said, yeah, that was for the Las Vegas one. Man, I posted a list. I'm gonna start posting like daily tips in the groups and the community. But one thing is, when you're in these markets that have low inventory, your assignment fees are actually going to be higher. I'll give you an example. If you're like doing deals in LA, Los Angeles, California, there's not a lot of inventory there. But if you get one under contract, right, you're going to get offers. The assignment fee is going to be high. So there's actually a list of markets I posted in the community that have low inventory, and the assignment fees are actually high because the demand is higher. Okay, so if you're wholesaling properties, that's a good opportunity for you to negotiate a good deal, get it under contract. You should be getting offers left and right for these properties. Whereas the other markets where there's more inventory, okay, you can still get deals. It doesn't matter if it's a tight market or not. It all matters what the price is. Okay. Yeah, some agents have a bad reputation for a terrible lack of communication. Yep. So go. I'm gonna post. I'm gonna be posting a video, probably early next week. I'll shoot it this weekend. It's specifically gonna be, and I've never done a video on this, but I think if it's working for us, it could work for you. It's gonna be on virtual driving for dollars. I think it's an underrated strategy. We've gotten 3 deals. Actually, we got 6 contracts from it. 3 closed. One's closing next week, hopefully. On or before the 15th. But we have generated $22,000 in profit from it. And the thing is, my very first deal when I was brand new was a driving for dollars deal. I drove around. I looked at distressed properties. One was boarded up and ugly. I called the person, made an offer. They accepted it. It was $7,000 deal. But that was in 2015, 2016. There's a smarter way of doing this virtually where you don't even have to step foot in your car. Doesn't even cost you gas money, just costs you a little bit of time. But you have to do it correctly. There are tools and resources you can leverage to make it easier for you, but it still works, right? So you have to mix up what you're targeting. If you don't have any inbound marketing and all you're doing is outbound marketing, you'll probably get a deal faster from Zillow or Driving for Dollars than cold calling. That's just my opinion. And I'm talking about for newbies. Obviously, cold calling is great, but it costs money to get a list, get a skip trace, get a dialer. Also takes time, right? And the cash conversion cycle is a lot longer. All right. So just keep that in mind. As more homes hit the market inventory high, do you believe price will go down? As more homes hit the market inventory is high, do you believe prices will go down since it? Yeah, I mean they would have to. The market's definitely in a correction. Some states that were hot are changing. The days on market, Florida and Texas being one of them. Okay. It's very interesting. You know, you can still get deals, and if you're doing this nationwide, even better. All right. But one of the objections we've been getting lately is like, oh, you're in Florida. We're in Oklahoma. Oh, if you prefer to meet somebody in person, we can absolutely do that. We buy properties in Florida, Oklahoma, and other states. All right. We've gotten some great deals in Oklahoma. It's my new favorite market. And, you know, our team is familiar with it. And, you know, the deals are everywhere, but some people, they just don't understand the concept of how do you live in Florida and how are you going to buy a house in Oklahoma, whether you're an investor or not. Like, how, you know, I don't know how that works. I don't feel comfortable. You have to tell them how you do it. You have a formula based off the price per square foot, the information you told me, the bedroom, bathroom, square footage, year built condition. We plug our numbers. We have softwares that allow us to let us know more or less a ballpark. We have to take a look at it no matter what. I'm not saying I'm not going to buy it sight unseen, but I want to make sure you're not at 500,000. I'm at 100,000, or otherwise I wouldn't want to waste your time. So, you know, educate people on how your process works. And yeah, if there's any videos you guys want to see specifically, drop them in the chat. I do want to give you guys videos on things, whether you're new or experienced. I want to give you value on what's working currently. All right, because there's a lot of you know, more objections today than there was before, and more regulation today than there ever has been. I mean, a lot of states are passing laws, and you don't have to be scared of that. You just have to pivot. That's all it is. Okay. How do you okay, so this is a private chat question. Let me pull it up. How do you give offer for a tear down house? Comps are good. If the property's a tear down, I set the expectations that I'm going to be analyzing the single family property for land value. That's my starting point. Because if it's a tear down, some people think a tear down's a tear down, and you know, sometimes it's actually not a tear down. So I want to look at it as a lot play or as a flip play for a house, but I do set those expectations that my first intention, if the homeowner says it's a tear down, I'm going to be looking at just land, right? So now I'm looking at comps. Is there any new construction in the area? If there isn't any new construction, what did that builder buy it for? How big is our lot and what is the zoning? Okay. And then when you're looking at comps, look at new construction and then click the transaction history. I do have a video on YouTube channel on how to run comps on land. It's actually very easy. Okay. Jersey City, Kadiuska. Let me take a look at that one real quick. I don't know. Let me see. Jersey City. No, that one was not yours. That was Jacqueline. You submitted that lead. Okay. It's all about making offers. Stay consistent, making offers. If you guys are in the community, reach out to me. I'm there to help you guys out. And guys, have a great weekend. Go crush it. Watch the other videos on comps if you want to learn how to make offers quickly, because I still use the same principles, the same process. The only thing that's changed is really the time frame. Instead of going back 90 days, or instead of going back 12 months, I start off 30 to 60 to 90 days. And if I really need to, I'll go back 12 months. But make the offers.